My last two observed rides have been focused on bends, cornering and overtaking. Unfortunately for the first ride my camera wasn't set up properly, so it all came out looking a bit like this, and it's a shame because we went on some really nice roads, but thankfully I got some good footage from the second ride. My feedback from the first ride was pretty good actually. The ground was a bit wet and a bit icy, so I managed to find some good parts of my lane that avoided all of that. When we stopped for our first break, my observer said that I should maybe slow it down a bit and focus more on safety than on speed through the bends, since I ran wide on a few of the corners. I think I tried to take this advice on board, but I didn't really nail it until I had a little bit of a scary moment on a different ride, and since then I've really concentrated on slowing down in the bends and focusing on the limit point and getting my positioning spot on. So the advice did sink in eventually, it just took a bit of a close call for it to happen. Earlier planning is becoming a bit of a theme on these rides. Every observer so far has told me to lift my vision and plan for hazards earlier. I've asked how I can get better at this, and I've been told that it's mostly just a question of more practice and more experience. Since it's feedback I get on every ride, I definitely need to practice earlier planning, and I think I'm getting a bit better at it, but I'm not really too sure what else I can do. I think I just need to go out and deliberately focus on looking much further ahead, for as long as my concentration allows me to. I also got told that I was running wide on a few of the bends because my upper body was way too tense. This makes it hard to steer the bike and it's also just really uncomfortable. So for the last few rides I've really focused on gripping the tank with my knees and relaxing my upper body more. I'm not sure if it's working, but I definitely ache less at the end of a ride, so I'm pretty sure it is. It would be good to have some footage of me taken by someone riding behind so I can see what my observer's seeing, and I might try and arrange this. So here was my feedback from observed ride number 3. I'm not going to go through every category, but it's mostly a suite of 2s and 3s, and you can pause the video to take a closer look. My observer left a note saying that the 3s were mostly due to earlier planning, so that's one thing I need to work on, as well as slowing down a bit more for the bends. So on to observed ride number 4. This one was also focused on bends, cornering and overtaking, and I found this ride a lot more frustrating than the last one. I missed a lot of my observer's signals and I kept getting told that I need to check my mirrors more, but I just found it really hard to see the indicators from so far back in my mirrors. I haven't missed as many signals on previous rides, and I didn't miss any on a recent bike safe course I took, so I found the feedback here to be pretty frustrating. I can remember road names and routes, so I prefer just to be told where we're going so that I don't have to guess while also trying to focus on the road ahead of me, but I guess it's all constructive feedback. We spoke a lot about overtaking on this ride. I mentioned in the first video of this series that I haven't really had much overtaking practice since I've been on a 125 for most of my riding life, so overtaking is not where I have the most confidence. I don't agree that it's necessary to overtake at every given opportunity if you're happy not to, but my feedback was that I should at least make it look like I've considered an overtake, so rather than just sitting it out. So for example, I could close the gap on the vehicle in front, maybe step out for a better look, and then drop back if I'm not happy. It's not really how I ride normally, and I'm not going to start doing it just for the sake of it, but I'll keep an eye out for more overtaking opportunities in the future. On this ride, I felt that this was the only real opportunity that I missed out on, and I could have overtaken with a bit more planning and confidence, but the world didn't end because I didn't get an overtaking, so I don't really mind that much. This ride really got me thinking about the whole process. It can be really fatiguing trying to get better at something, because you're always looking at things to improve on, so you're always looking at things that you're not great at already. You have to be in the right frame of mind to take the feedback on board, consider it, and then maybe do something about it. If you come to the table with a closed mindset and you're not willing to change things about your riding, then you might as well just save your time and money and not bother taking any training. Because to pass the test, you have to be able to ride in a certain way, and that might be different to how you're riding at the minute. There are parts of my riding that right this minute I'm not willing to change, like overtaking one car just to get caught in a queue of traffic ahead anyway. I don't see the point of doing that. But I guess it's an area where sometimes I might clash with an observer or with the process in general, until I'm willing to put my ego down and just look at things from a different point of view. I guess I'm just not there yet. I'm also not massively convinced by the method of navigation where you're looking for signals behind you, when you could easily just be in radio contact. I check my mirrors to see if there's something behind me or not to look for a tiny reflection of an indicator, and then guess whether I'm being asked to turn left down a side road, take the first exit at a roundabout, or pull over to the side of the road. I don't like the method of navigation, and it's something I'm willing to work on, but that's still my opinion. Again, here are my numbers from the day. My main feedback points were to check my mirrors more often, practice overtaking where possible, and position a little bit earlier for bends. I hope I find my next ride a little bit more enjoyable than this one. Overall, the process is going well. I still recommend taking the train if you're looking to get better at riding, but you really do have to come at it with an open mind, and I think in some ways I'm not quite there yet. But as always, safe riding, and I'll see you guys in the next one.